Hi there, I'm Jen Ferguson with Artistic Painting Studio, and today guys I'm going to introduce you to some of our newest foils. These are double-sided foils, you guys, meaning they're going to transfer exactly the same color on both sides. This is super exciting, so come join me. Hey guys, we're actually going to work on a project while I talk about these new foils, and we'll make something fun. Okay, so we're going to use a glass plate from the Dollar Tree, and we're actually going to work on the back side of the plate, not the front. Okay, so all the decoration that we're going to do is on the back, the bottom side, and that way once we seal this, we can still use it for decoration. There won't be any product on the top side, so you could also use it for food, serving plate, or something useful, okay? First thing I like to do is just to clean these. I'm using our 91% isopropyl alcohol, okay, to clean. This is one of the products that I always recommend and use. It helps to get all the oils and dirt off of the surface. I just use it, I have it in a spray bottle, so I just spray the surface, and then I really do clean well, okay? I'm trying to rub this super well and get everything that's possibly on there off. And once you have the plate clean, you guys, let's keep our hands off of it, okay? Because if you touch this bottom side, you can possibly transfer oils back, okay? So I'm going to grab our foil adhesive. We're going to get this prepped, and then we'll talk more about those foils. Okay, so I'm using our Artsyville Embellishments foil adhesive. Don't let that gallon container scare you, okay? We do sell it in smaller quantity. I'm just going to take some of the foil adhesive out of the bucket. I'm putting it on what I call my sticky plate, and I'm just going to be using a foam brush. The one thing with our foil adhesive, it is not self-leveling. So if I brush, I'll have brush strokes that will be evident, okay? You'll be able to see them. So we're going to go for a different technique here. We're just going to pounce on the adhesive, and we're going to have a stippled effect, but it will be more uniform, and you won't have that feeling and look of having brush stroke, okay? So even if you use our foil adhesive and you water it down a little bit, you can soften some of those brush strokes, but watering it down on glass is not really recommended because we need the best adhesion we can get for working on a non-porous surface, okay? So I hope you can see that I'm using the brush more perpendicular and just trying to soften that stippled look so it's not really heavy, okay? Just soften it out a little bit, and then we're going to do the outside edge as well. So you can see that we're going to definitely have some texture from this technique, but it will be uniformed. It will be the same texture underneath. It's not going to be some obnoxious brush strokes, okay? You could possibly get a roller out. I was just thinking this curved edge of the plate would probably be a little challenging, so I'm just taking my time holding onto the plate as I'm doing this and pounce the whole surface. Now once we have the adhesive completely on the plate, I'm going to let this dry overnight, okay, for the best adhesion and also to allow the foil adhesive to get to a nice firm hard tack. I do recommend on a non-porous surface like glass to definitely allow it to dry overnight. Otherwise, you could possibly end up with the adhesive not wanting to stick as well. So be patient with this project. It's definitely going to take you a couple of days, not because it takes that much time to do it, but you're just going to need layers to dry. Okay, we almost have it here. I'm trying to be neat, okay? Trying to come back and make sure I don't have any obnoxious marks, that everything kind of looks uniformed and consistent. And then we will let this dry. Okay, hopefully you can see the texture I've created. And we're gonna put that in a safe place and let that whole thing dry overnight. Okay, so don't be in a hurry. Now, we're gonna talk about these new foils. So when I talk about them being double-sided, they still have a carrier side, which is on the outside of the roll, okay? And then we have the transfer side, and the color is identical. So that means when they transfer, both sides are going to be the same color. Even if you had like our silver foil, our regular silver foil, it's gonna look silver on the backing side, but it won't be as bright and shiny as the transfer side would be, okay? So these are definitely unique and different. They're unique in a couple of different ways as well. We cannot use a scrub brush with these. So they are a very, very easy release. All we will be using to transfer is a nice soft cotton rag. We're not going to be using any scrub brush on them because they will get scratched. So they're a great alternative to doing gold leaf. At least you won't have the mess that gold leaf always creates, okay? So we're gonna let our plate dry, and we'll be back to play with these new gorgeous foils. Okay guys, on to our new foil. This one is actually called Harvest Gold, and it's beautiful. Again, these are a double-sided foil, meaning the exact same color will be on both sides when transferred. Normally we never see the transfer side, not unless we're working on glass. So pretty much that is going to be one of the main purposes for these foils, are working on glass or other transparent or translucent surfaces where you would possibly see the back side of the foil. They are super easy release and cannot, absolutely not use a scrub brush with these. So know that the only way that you're going to transfer them is by rubbing with a soft cloth. No scrub brush, it will scratch. Also, they're super similar to working with leafing, like gold leaf, silver leaf, imitation leaf. Whereas when you go to a transparent surface like a glass plate, you are definitely going to be able to see through, okay? You're gonna have to do a second coat. So because this foil, as you can see with me having fun with it, it likes to curl right back up. I am going to go ahead and cut off a section that will work for this project. And I'm going to use just some of my different containers that you see that I'm using around here to keep the foil flat while I'm trying to put the plate on here, okay? So I am going to try to get, oops, easier said than done as my arm just hit everything. But I am going to try to get the foil to lay flat, as flat as I can. Okay, so I'm kind of just pulling it tight so that I've got a smooth, flat surface of the foil to start with. And if you have more than one set of hands, it might help, okay? You can see that this is not completely smoothed out, but this should be good to start with, okay? The foil, I just want you to know, this is the transfer side facing up right now. So I'm gonna put the plate face down on top of that. So my sticky side is here, it's the bottom of the plate. And we are going to put this directly onto the foil. And of course, it's not going to ever lay completely flat and smooth, okay? Just kind of get over that. And then I'm going to remove my little corner weights one at a time and make sure that I can try to get this foil to attach to the sides, okay, without flipping over the wrong way. So now that it is completely attached, I will flip the whole plate so that I can rub the surface. Again, I suggest that all you use is just a nice soft rag. This is like t-shirt material, and I just have it folded up into something that I could hold easily in my hand. And then we're going to rub. And that is all we'll be doing for this transfer. Again, no scrub brush, no burnishing pads, nothing harsh that could possibly create any scratching. And as I had indicated a little while ago, that when you are working on glass, even if we were going to try to do this with gold leafing, we would still have to do a second coat, because gold leaf is not going to be completely opaque on a clear surface, a transparent surface as glass. So this is going to take 2 layers to create, but we're going to have some beautiful rich looking glass plates that I think would cost a fortune to buy, versus trying to do them just with foil. Now, the project that we're doing here, we're going to be keeping all of our application on just the back side of the plate. So trying to not get anything over to the serving side or eating side, so that these could still be used not only for decoration, but also if you wanted to actually use them for serving, okay? So as I pull away, if I see a lot of the metallization still on the carrier sheet, I am going to give it another try here and see if I can get some more to release in those areas. Because all we can do is use the rag, okay? Trying to make sure that we have as much coverage as possible. And a lot of times if you peek under and lay it back down, you can sometimes get more coverage. Okay, so once I have transferred everything that feels like it's coming off on that sheet, I am going to use some of the rest of the foil, and I'm going to lay that over the areas that I've already transferred and just see if we can get a little bit more coverage by using our extra pieces here, or I should say just the rest of the foil that's still on the carrier sheet. You'll be able to tell just by seeing if any of it's coming off of the carrier. I do feel like this is filling in a little bit, so I'm going to add a little bit more and go around the whole plate, okay? See if I can, like I said, get a little bit more coverage for this layer. And then as soon as I'm done rubbing this, okay, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like, because it's not, I mean, it looks gorgeous from your point of view, but as I pick this up, it's definitely going to show you that there are areas that did not create opaque coverage. Okay, you can still see through. Let me flip it over. Oops, might be better to look at it from this layer. But there you go. You can see that we don't have opaque coverage yet. If you were looking for something that is more, I want to say like a little bit of a distressed look, you can definitely leave the plate as is and then just go ahead and clear coat it and use it. We're going to go for a second layer. So I'm going to grab the foil adhesive once again, get my sticky plate out. Again, same product, okay? We're going to be doing this with a foam brush, because remember, I'm pouncing on these layers so that I don't have brush stroke. So I'm going to put some adhesive out onto my plate. Okay. And once again, you're just going to pounce on another full layer so that we can put a second layer on. But as I indicated, if you're happy with a little bit of a distressed look, then there's no need for the second coat. You can skip this layer and just follow the directions that I will be going over for finishing the plate. So again, I'm going to stay with the same technique. I'm just going to pounce on another full layer. I'm just softening up the texture from the sponge brush. I will again allow this to dry overnight. I feel it's always best to allow your adhesive to dry longer instead of shorter. I'm sure that this would probably be ready in maybe 2 to 3 hours, but I'm going to go ahead and just give it a little bit longer time to dry and cure. Okay, once you have your foil adhesive completely on your surface, go find a nice safe place to put this plate until it's dry, and we'll be back for another layer of foil. Okay guys, our first layer, or I'm sorry, our second layer of foil adhesive has dried. And again, if you're okay with more of a distressed look, you can definitely stop at the first layer. I have put my foil down. The transfer side is facing up. I have it anchored down with my little jars so that I can place the plate on here. And again, I'm going to place it on here, trying to maximize our space. And I think I'll end up probably cutting off some of this foil so it's just out of our way. There we go. And with a foil that curls so much, like our double-sided one, this one's the Harvest Gold, I am going to suggest that you do the technique of anchoring down the foil first and placing your object on top of it. Not unless you've got somebody else to help you and have an extra set of hands. I think that works so well. So again, remember that with working with our double-sided foils, you want to only use your soft cloth to rub and transfer the foil. Please do not use any scrubbing tool. You will scratch the foil. So I'm going to make sure I'm all the way around here. And see, oh my gosh, we're getting such great coverage. And we should be pretty well opaque with this second layer. And the same would be if you were trying to use gold leaf or silver leaf on something like glass and transparent. You would still have to put a second layer on. Even gold leaf is not going to be opaque enough to do a coat in just one. So look at that. That is absolutely gorgeous. We have almost full opacity. And there is our gorgeous gold plate, okay? So I'm going to seal this, and what I'm going to do on here is cover this with our final coat. And the beauty is that we can go forward right now. So I have the semi-gloss final coat, and we'll go ahead and put a layer on and get this coated. Now you can do this with just about any water-based top coat. Provide you a product that you can seal with. And then the other thing that I've done for just added durability Not that you're going to put any of this through the dishwasher, okay? Definitely no dishwasher, you guys. These are going to be hand wash only, but at least using a super, super thin coat of epoxy is just going to give it more durability with hand washing and cleaning and using. So these will be fun to do as a centerpiece. We can use them as serving plates if we choose to. Again, there is no contamination or product being used on the side that we would be eating off of or serving off of. So all should be fine, okay? Final coat dries within just a few minutes. So you can layer on a couple of coats or check your own water-based or waterborne top coat and see if it will work on the foils. And again, you guys, thank you so much for joining me for this project. Just another fun thing that we can do with our foils. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this super fun tutorial. You'll find a complete list of all supplies and materials in the description below, and make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of our upcoming tutorials.